Uruguay qualify from Group A. The Brazilians quickly followed suit in Group B. Is it now the turn of Argentina to secure a quarter-final place? The winners of the last two Copa Americas are not expected here to have too many problems. They've never lost to Chile in 23 meetings in this competition, and they have the larger support here, with Paysandu being on the Argentinian border. History then is against Chile, and so tonight is one of the greatest strikers in Gabriel Batistuta. 30 goals in 42 matches for his country. Daniel Passarella has made a couple of changes, bringing in Ariel Ortega and Leonardo Estrada, who came on as subs in the opening match against Bolivia. Perez and Gallardo drop out. Passarella, 42 years of age now. Among the Argentinian subs at number 20 is Alberto Acosta, who actually plays his football in Chile and was top scorer in their league last season, but a knee injury picked up in training, there he is, means he might not be risked tonight. He came on in that first game. Chile, who lost to the USA, of course, by 2-1, although they squandered a hatful of chances, have made changes as well. They brought in young striker Rodrigo Ruiz in the hope that some of those chances, if they create more tonight, will be put away. Chile, who staged the tournament in 1991 and finished third. In fact, the team that ended their hopes that year were Argentina. Confirmation of the Chilean lineup coming shortly. They're without their star striker, of course, Ivan Zamorano, the man who Pele reckons is the best that South America can offer on the forward front. The Real Madrid man, though, after a hard season, deciding that he needed a rest rather than take part in this tournament. And judging by all those missed chances in the first game, it seems that Chile missed him. This compact little stadium in Paysandu has attracted some of the most enthusiastic crowds in the tournament. Capacity of 22,000. Diego Maradona expected to be here again as well to watch this game this evening. Finishing touches were put to this stadium. The last licks of paint just days before the tournament began. Millions of pounds worth of improvements were carried out, funded by the government incidentally, to ensure that it could be used as a venue for the Copa America. Chile then, with number 21 Rodrigo Ruiz, their big hope this evening. At number 7 Valencia, who was quite impressive against the USA, and you saw number 8 Patricio Mordones, who's come into the side tonight. He scored against Northern Ireland in the Edmonton Cup tournament back in May, as indeed did Valencia at number 7. Unavailable for them tonight, of course, is number 4 Margus, having been sent off in that game at a time against the USA, at a time when Chile were threatening. We've seen that a lot so far in this tournament. The Argentinians and the Chileans, not really the best of pals, so it's going to be quite an interesting game from that point of view, and from the point of view, Mark, that there are a lot of skillful players on the show. Yes,
I think so, and I think you just put your finger on the pulse of the game tonight, the fact that they're not good friends. I think there could be a little battle certainly early on in the game. I think our friend, the Mexican referee, is going to have his work cut out, if not in the first half hour, certainly in the first 90 minutes. And I think you can sense the atmosphere straight away. It's completely different from what we saw last night. There's a bit of feeling just watching the Chilean players warm up. They know they're in for a really, really tough night tonight. Argentina are the favourites, but I think we're in for a good game, hopefully.
Problem with the feed from Paysandu. I can hear the action going on, but we're going to try and re-establish the picture just as soon as we can. Apologies for that. We were just about to get underway, weren't we? Moments for a quick reflection from Trevor Francis and Peter With on what we saw earlier with Bolivia beating the United States 1-0. That does really throw the group wide open, Peter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does, and America really, with the attitude that they went out with, really thinking that they were going to get a 1-1 draw or get some sort of draw.
Okay. Sorry, Peter, we'll pick up that point a little later. Let's get back to the live action and join Mark Lawrenson and Ian Crocker again.
Thank you, Paul. What a time to leave us, but nothing has happened yet. Argentina kicking the game off. Chasing, of course, a hat-trick of Copa Americas, having won in Chile, where the tournament was staged in 1991. And here's an early chance, and it's going to be 1-0 straight away, and it's that man, Batistuta. What a start for Argentina. And Batistuta makes it 31 goals in 43 matches for his country.
He just laid on the shoulder of the back defender, didn't he, Ian? And what a great finish. I mean, it's only his second touch of the game. First touch, got it out of his feet, saw the goalkeeper, and he just dinked it into the far corner. Super finish. But what a bad start for Chile and a great start for Argentina.
Well, he provided a clinical finish against Bolivia, and there was another one. Chile do not know what has hit them. It's Batistuta who has hit them straight away. And Argentina really off to the perfect start here in Paysandu in front of largely Argentinian crowd who are delighted already. And now they're looking for more straight away. And it's Batistuta trying to bustle his way through and winning the free kick. The referee slipping up, much to the delight of the crowd. But this is some start from Argentina. I mean, they're going for it straight away.
Yeah, certainly Batistuta's got a bit between his teeth now, and I think the whole team will have Chile rock back. I'm sure the manager said to them before they came out, listen, in the first 20 minutes, make sure that we keep it very, very tight. And the worst possible things happened. They've conceded a goal, and the best laid plans of mice and men have gone awry at the moment for Chile.
Batistuta, some striker, and teeing up this one as well. Is it going to be a second? So close for Gabriel Batistuta, who has already a brilliant record for his country.
It was a super strike here, wasn't it? So super strike. The unfortunate part just for Argentina was it didn't hit the target, but so early on, and Chile are certainly reeling at the moment.
Batistuta not content with that brilliant record. He wants to make it even better, and nearly did. As the captain of Argentina, Ayala. So Chile then, with it all to do already. The only team without a point now after Bolivia's win over the USA. The only team without a point in Group C, that is. And the crowd so far here liking what they are seeing, as indeed they have done really under Daniel Passarella's reign as Argentina coach. 17 matches, they've won 12, drawn 4 and lost just the once. That was to Denmark at the start of the year in a tournament, in the final of a tournament.
I think it's important for Chile really that they stop the bleeding. They've conceded a goal so early on in the game. They're a bit at 6s and 7s at the moment. They've got to get themselves sorted, got to get some kind of pattern established, and first and foremost got to try and get the ball from Argentina.
Ortega putting Balbo away, and he's won the corner kick, has Balbo, who also scored, of course, with a little help from Simeone, whose lob came back off the post against Bolivia, and Balbo was there to head it home, but he's still got to be there. And you get the feeling that he is in for a rather busy night. Argentina threatening again, Ortega. And he's going to get it back. Ortega, who will certainly add attacking options to Argentina's play this evening. Ayala now, the skipper, plays this football for Parma in Italy. Losing out on that occasion though to Perez, but it's one back. And Chile really have got some serious sorting out to do, but they've got no time to do it.
No, and the problem is that because of the early goal that Argentina have scored, they're certainly at least half a yard, if not a yard, faster than Chile.
Feeling amongst the fans here in Paysandu is that Argentina could knock up a few goals tonight against the Chileans. And that would take them, of course, to 6 points in Group C and would confirm their quarter-final place. It's a lovely pass as well. It's Batistuta who's veered wide. Scorer in the opening couple of minutes, looking to be creator. Balbo and Ayala with a shot. And Argentina have made a storming start to this game, claiming the second goal. Simeone, who's just become a dad, he turned down the opportunity to go and see his baby son to stay with the squad, and it seems that loyalty has paid off.
Yes, it's right the Rovers start for Argentina. Great cross by Batistuta. If anything, the first touch wasn't the best here, but nice little layoff, and he just hit it first time. The goalkeeper has got a lot of questions to ask himself. Low to his right, never really set himself, but that is an absolutely super start for Argentina. And virtually, as far as Chile concerned, the game's over.
In his 45th game for his country then, Simeone makes it Argentina 2, Chile 0. And as you can see, the Argentinian fans celebrating in the opening few minutes 2 goals. But they have some defending to do here for the first time in the game. Well, what a start it's been in a competition where first half goals have been a little bit limited. Argentina trying to change that and doing it pretty effectively at the moment. Este finds Mardones. And Mendoza teeing up the effort, but Cristante untroubled in the Argentinian goal.
It'll be fascinating to see the Chileans approach now. 2-0 down after, 6 minutes? And what do? Do they just sit back and try and keep the score down? Do they try and get themselves back in the game urgently, almost immediately? Or they just wait and see really what happens throughout the rest of the game? A very, very difficult decision that their manager has to make now.
Instructions from the dugout. In a game that is threatening to be filled with goals, and that deflection doesn't quite catch out Cristante off his own man, and Argentina will look to put Chile under even more pressure. Simeone then, who scored the second. Borrelli. Chamot. And now Valencia. Mendoza and Gabriel Mendoza, ever present in the last 2 Copa Americas for Chile, wins the free kick, and then so does Valencia.
Argentina won't be too bothered about that, letting the Chileans have the ball in their own half. They're on fire, aren't they, at the moment? They're very, very quick to the ball. As soon as they do get it, win it from Chile. The nice early passes, there's lots of movement up front. And just, 2 goals up after 6 minutes, you just feel as though you can do absolutely nothing wrong in the game.
Valencia looking to get Chile back into it, and hit his own man in the end. Now Zanetti. Number 4 for Argentina. He'll be a teammate of Paul Ince at Inter Milan next season. And keeper Ramirez has already had a nightmare start. Wasn't going to be lobbed from that kind of distance.
I think it's also the quickest start that we've seen in all the games so far, and both sides came out very, very quickly. You could sense the urgency before the game started. I think we said before the game started it looked as though there was lots of tension between the two teams. It certainly started that way. Of course, with Argentina scoring 2 goals so early, it's just added to the tension and added to the feeling in the game.
And before you joined us here, I think I said to you there's going to be one in the first 10 minutes. I don't think there'll be 2, mind you, but...
You mean you got it wrong then?
I did. Batistuta and Simeone then getting Argentina off to a superb start. Three times previously Argentina have won the Copa America twice in a row, but they've failed just to clinch it for a third time. Is that going to change now, having won it in 91 and 93? 93, incidentally, they needed penalties to get past the quarter-final and semi-final stages, beating Brazil and Colombia that year. Valencia winning the free kick for the challenge by Leonardo Estrada. Valencia then their chief playmaker, as Chile look for some sort of way back into this game. There he is again. Este. Mendoza, and that's Borrelli, number 21 for Argentina, playing in only his second game. Borrelli for his country. His first game was the first match of this tournament for Argentina against Bolivia. Now Zanetti, just 21 years of age, good tackle though, and it's won back by Rodrigo Perez. 2 21-year-olds clashing there, and Chile coming off better, but not for long. Borrelli then, who played with his coach Daniel Passarella, and Passarella was in his last season with River Plate. Borrelli now at Panathinaikos. Free kick has gone Chile's way. Referee Arturo Brizio of Mexico needs to be strong in this one. Borrelli again. Estrada away to Zanetti. Borrelli. Zanetti. Batistuta making the run. Covering for Chile though is Rodrigo Perez. Clearance comes to Simeone. Now Ayala. Simeone again. Just couldn't find a way through. Batistuta over there as well.
I think it's important for Chile that they get a hold of Batistuta. Already scored one, been involved in the second. He's looking just to run in the holes behind the defence of Chile, and at the moment they're playing very, very square. And I think if Argentina get the passing right and get the little movement right, he's going to get in on many, many occasions in this game.
Zanetti now. He's got Simeone behind him, not using him as yet. Now he does. Simeone with the centre, and I'll be glad that he got hold of it. Chile will be Marcelo Ramirez. Argentina, though, pretty relentless at the moment.
I think it's important seeing when Chile get the ball that they just concentrate on keeping it. You know, play it very, very simple. There's no need in playing 30, 40-yard balls. Just play it through midfield, keep hold of the ball, let the players have a touch, and let them slowly regain their confidence. They've been absolutely shell-shocked by the fact of the 2 goals so early on in the game.
And is there going to be another one to come for Argentina? Balbo waiting in the middle, but Simeone can't get there. And defending for Chile is Miguel Ramirez. He's got the free kick as well.
Again, great play by Batistuta, wasn't it? Nice ball into him. Great first touch. He's looking just to set Simeone through. At the moment, every time Batistuta gets a ball, he looks very, very dangerous. This is a real forwards tackle, wasn't it? Just catching the back of the Chilean defender. Definitely a free kick.
What a few days it's been for number 8, Simeone. On the top of the picture there. And his wife having given birth to a baby boy. And Daniel Passarella gave him permission to go back and see him, but he elected to stay with the squad. Balbo. Being forced wide is Balbo. Oh, what a turn though. And Chile close to conceding a third goal. It was Ortega, I think, who came in. And still the pressure's not going to be off them. Balbo.
I don't think in the previous move that Balbo actually saw the run that Batistuta made. It looked for a moment as though if he'd played it in early, in behind the Chilean back defender, that Batistuta was in, and it could quite easily have been 3-0 for Argentina.
Valencia in his first Copa America tournament. He is again, won the title in Chile last year with Universidad Chile. Este, Mendoza, Basse is beaten to it. He thought about the back heel initially and then decided against it.
It's really just what we're saying they can't afford to do, and the little build-up play wasn't bad, and then he tried a difficult little back heel when really he should just keep hold of the ball there, Basse, in that position, and again just look for a red shirt and look to build it up, look to be patient and look to really quieten the game down.
Well, this is lovely stuff by Argentina. Balbo trying to time his run and wait in the hope that he wasn't going to be caught offside.
Yeah, Chile just can't get near Argentina at the moment, and it's lovely first time stuff. There'll be lots of good balls into the forward players, great touches off, lots of third man running at the moment. Chile find it very, very difficult to cope with the pressure.
Chile then, who've never beaten Argentina in the Copa America in over 20 meetings. It doesn't look like they're going to start now.
It'll be interesting to know the odds before the game on Chile getting a victory here.
Goals already from Batistuta and Simeone. Both finished into the corner of the net, opposite corners. Valencia really doesn't need to do that for Chile. Chile 8-1, we are told.
Well, the bookmakers don't get it wrong very often, do they? Wonder what odds are now, probably 80-1, I think.
800. They went 2-0 down, of course, against the USA in the first half as well. And came back into it and really should have got something out of their game. But you sense tonight that it could be much more difficult for them with a superior quality of opposition in the shape of Argentina.
Yeah, and it would also be quite easy for Argentina to take the foot off the gas, but there's still very, very much a sense of urgency. I think because of the quality of the players in the side, they realise that tonight they could really go out and enjoy themselves. They're 2-0 up, they don't look in any danger at the moment. I know it's early in the game, but they don't look in any danger of certainly conceding or, by any remote possibility of losing the game. And, you look at the likes of Batistuta, who's got, 31 goals in 43 games. He's probably thinking he might get a net full tonight, and that's why there's still a sense of urgency amongst the Argentinian players.
Already on 2 goals in this tournament, of course, Batistuta. Mistake there by Mendoza. It's Borrelli with the throw-in, putting Chamot away. And still he goes. Simeone wasn't away on that right-hand side as per usual, giving Chile some vague hope here of an attack. Este. Rodrigo Ruiz, given no time to do anything, but he has got the throw.
It's amazing the amount of room that Argentina seem to have when they get the ball, and Chile seem to open up. I think it's a case really for them at the moment of getting players behind the ball and trying to frustrate Argentina for at least 10 minutes and just try and settle the game down.
In fact, Chile have only beaten Argentina 5 times in 64 meetings through the years. Patricio Mardones. What can they do here? Well, they've won the corner off Zanetti.
It was actually good defending by Zanetti, because originally he got beaten by the shape that the forward had thrown, but he got up, he got off the floor, and he managed to get the block in to concede the corner.
Which will be taken by Este. Argentina never really looked like they were going to be under any pressure from that corner, and they were not. Rodrigo Perez, just 21 years of age. It's a very young Argentinian side as well. Daniel Passarella certainly laid down the rules since taking charge. Strict diets and, of course, no long hair. Although Batistuta seems to get away with a few long locks, it must be said. Mind you, with 31 goals in 43 games. Perhaps that's no surprise, but no Redondo, for example, or Canigia here. It's a fairly strict regime that he's running, Passarella.
Well, knowing the toughness of the man, I don't think anyone would want to argue with him, Mr. Passarella. He really was an imposing figure as a player and the captain of Argentina, and he's got that strength in the dressing room, it would seem.
Yes, Trevor Francis said he was the only man to frighten Graham Souness. So he must be pretty vicious.
That takes some doing, I can assure you.
Now Simeone then, scorer of the second goal, after Batistuta had struck. And here he is again. Ayala is the captain of Argentina. He's wearing number 2. Very much a Passarella man. There he is. Captain of the side. Indeed, he's only missed one match under Passarella's reign, and that was against Paraguay last month, when he was actually in Italy sorting out his move from River Plate to Parma.
You have to say this is an improvement for Chile, because they haven't conceded a goal for 15 minutes, and they certainly were shell-shocked in the first 6 minutes, weren't they? So it is, if anything, it's a good sign for them. Argentina just seem to have stopped slightly. They're trying to play dinky little passes, whereas they were very, very direct early on, and it really paid dividends for them.
Stray pass from Zanetti, unusually that time. Valencia then, and he's got a bit of space. Skipping past Ayala, and then rather wasting things.
Yes, I don't think the Argentinian goalkeeper will be too bothered about shots coming from 25 and 30 yards. We don't seem to have had one on target yet so far, so he looks like might be in for a quiet night, although they've got a corner here.
Obviously the deflection taking it away, and in comes that corner. Chamot arose, and now the keeper Cristante has it, and has a free kick as well. José Chamot, 26-year-old, who plays for Lazio. In fact, he plays at centre-half for Lazio a lot, although he's very much made the left-back spot his own at international level. No-nonsense marker. So far, no yellow cards in this game, which is not bad going. Chamot. Borrelli. Argentina somewhat stumbled their way forward on that occasion. Here's Zanetti, though. Estrada. Patted forward by Estrada, and Batistuta nearly finding a way through, and keeper Ramirez doing well. He couldn't handle it, of course, having nudged it outside of his area. Simeone hitting it straight at Eduardo Vilches. Argentina seemingly wanting to put on some show tonight. Another flamboyant punch away, missed kick by Estrada. Promised a lot. And Chile now looking to break, and this could be interesting with Argentina pushing forward. It's Valencia. And the danger is over because Valencia had gone down injured, and as Rodrigo Ruiz had got away, I think he was looking to return it to Valencia, who obviously couldn't have continued his run.
I think Valencia, credit to him, he got clipped by the defender. It'd be interesting to see if the referee does make any decision here, because it was a late challenge. And yes, it's a booking which you could only expect for the challenge of Valencia.
That's a yellow card then for the captain, Roberto Ayala, and that means that he will miss the last group match against the USA, because it's his second yellow card of the tournament, and that's why. I'm really looking at it from that angle. I don't think he can have too many arguments.
No, there can no argument whatsoever there. Good refereeing as well by the referee. He let Chile play on, and once the ball had gone dead, he came back and he booked Ayala quite rightly.
So he's out of the match against the USA on Friday. So they'll need a new captain on that occasion. Referee continuing and allowing Argentina to present Chile with the ball. And they'll probably be glad to get it, because they haven't had it that much in the opening 27 minutes of this game. Mendoza. Rising was Basse, to no great avail.
Yeah, it was a good cross as well in from the left. But I think, we said before the game started that there was a great feeling between these two teams. We thought the referee would be very, very busy, certainly in the first half hour. But because of the fact that Argentina got off to such a great start, going 2 goals up so early on in the game, if anything, it's taken that edge of competitiveness out of the game. And if anything, as far as the game's concerned, I think it's in for a better spectacle.
Argentina then cheered on by a boisterous crowd here in Paysandu, on the border between Uruguay and Argentina, hence the healthy following for them. Valencia. Good few whistles in the crowd tonight, as well as the referees, of course. Chile won the Edmonton Cup back in May when they beat Canada 2-1 and Northern Ireland by the same score as well. So far the Copa America turning into a massive disappointment for them. They failed to get past the group stage last time around in '93. And it ain't looking good this time round either. Having lost to the USA. They meet Bolivia in their final game. Bolivia picking up 3 points in this same stadium prior to this game, and they beat the USA by 1-0. Ariel Ortega being shackled closely, fouled in the end by Miguel Ramirez. Simeone on this side now, and he's won the free kick for the challenge by Valencia. Ortega then, only 5'7", Ariel Ortega. Daniel Passarella didn't pick him for a while because of his height and weight. Oh, he's gone for goal! Brilliant from Ortega, and nearly catching Ramirez out. Here he is again. And he's going to get another free kick, and that'll be a yellow card for Nelson Paraguez of Chile, and that means that he will miss their game with Bolivia on Friday, because it's his second yellow card of the tournament.
Silly foul as well, wasn't it? Because there's no way he's going to get the ball. He's just had a hack at a little fella. It was great play early on from the free kick. It looked as though he's lining up to play the ball right-footed across everybody for a flick-on header. He saw the goalkeeper just leaving his near post unguarded. He's hit a lovely, swerving, dipping, right-footed shot in there and a good save by the goalkeeper.
He went for goal last time. This time it's the cross. Drilled back in, and the keeper smothering the effort. Balbo was waiting to pounce. Marcelo Ramirez certainly been a busy man in the opening half hour.
Yeah, again, it was a good strike as well, wasn't it? Head and knee and body all over the ball, kept it very low, and he's forced the goalkeeper into making a save. And I'm sure that when the ball came off him, the goalkeeper, he thought that one of the Argentinian forwards was going to follow in. Good strike, isn't it, from distance? He's done everything right, copybook style, and kept the ball very low, because he can hit all sorts of people on the way out and get deflection into the back of the net.
The man who struck it, Fernando Caceres, was voted man of the match by the most popular sports newspaper in Argentina against Bolivia in the opening game.
That's normally the kiss of death, Ian, when somebody votes you man of the match.
He had a good strike then, as Argentina go in search of more goals. Batistuta and Simeone striking in the opening few minutes.
Well, at least Chile have stopped the rot, haven't they? And they've started to get a bit more possession in the game, and they've really got to keep doing that. They've got to encourage the players to come and get the ball and have a few more touches. And once they get that, and once they get a bit more confidence into the players, then they've got to start to look to create chances, because if they're going to get themselves back in this game, they need to score, certainly before half-time.
There's the man of the moment. Batistuta, now Simeone. Estrada finding Simeone again. Simeone, who made his international debut at the age of just 18. Barely been playing club football for a year. The number 8 for Argentina. Scorer of their second goal. Ortega will keep this in. But blocking his route was Vilches. Mendoza. Zanetti earning the appreciation of the Argentinian following, which is most of the crowd. Balbo. Batistuta. Argentina expected, but Batistuta, unusually for him, could not deliver.
I think that was the best chance of the game so far in. Great little play, little 1-2 between Balbo and Batistuta. Delivered the ball in right foot, super cross for Batistuta, and he's only really got to hit the target and just stick it either side of the goalkeeper, and it puts Argentina 3-0 up. Great cross, wasn't it? Batistuta read it, he waited, he hung back, in it came, and he just had to make half-decent contact. If anything, the chance was possibly too easy for him. He's got too much time in which to think and where to put it, whereas he just head it down, goes past the goalkeeper. Argentina are 3-0 up.
Well, he really should have had goal number 32 for his country, Batistuta. On-range effort coming in from Fabian Este, who plays for Colo. Batistuta, whose goals in the final in '93 clinched the Copa America as Argentina beat Mexico 2-1. He wasn't top scorer in that tournament, though. That honour went somewhat surprisingly to the Venezuelan Dolgueta.
I think Batistuta's strike rate must be, well, certainly the best in world football at the moment, by far and away better than anybody currently playing at this level.
Ariel Ortega of River Plate, brought into the side this evening after coming on as a sub in the first match. So Argentina will be without their skipper Ayala against the USA. although it looks like they would have clinched their place in the quarter-final anyway. Maybe the chance to give him a rest, and maybe Passarella might make other changes as well. Chile, though, came back against the USA strongly, hoping to do the same here. Patricio Mardones, tormentor of Northern Ireland back in May, Mardones. They'll remember him. Will Argentina remember him? No, not yet.
No, they haven't forced a goalkeeper to make any kind of save, haven't they? I mean, to score, for Mardones to score from that kind of range, it's got to be a hell of a shot, hasn't it? It's got to do all sorts to go past a goalkeeper. He's really just got to hit the target and got to make the goalkeeper make a save.
The attendance here in Paysandu, around 21,000, which is nearly capacity in this stadium. It does help when Argentina are playing, and it does help when Paysandu is on the border with Argentina. Certainly the most enthusiastic crowds have been here out of all the venues, in a competition that has struggled to get big attendances.
I think the other nice thing about this stadium, I mean, is the fact that the crowd are very, very near in terms of South American crowds and stadiums to the pitch, and that does make a difference for the players because they do feel the atmosphere far more better when the supporters are near the pitch.
Chamot, the 1-2 won't come off though, it's out of play, and it's a throw for Mendoza. Rodrigo Perez, one of the Chilean youngsters who played in the Pan American Games earlier this year, which was won by Argentina, under 23 tournament, and they beat Chile on the way. A lot of players from that playing in this one as well. Some young squads in South America at the moment. Argentina can't believe that's a corner, but it is, and it'll be taken as usual by Este. Rodrigo Ruiz making his way across as well. Este ushered him away. And waiting to get the header in was Eduardo Vilches. All of the Copa America matches, of course, live on Sky Sports, and tonight the action continues with the final round of matches in Group A. Paraguay against Venezuela first up at the earlier time of 10:05, followed by Uruguay, the host nation, against Mexico. Still an awful lot to play for in that group, for Mexico and for Paraguay in particular. The top two teams from each of the three groups go through, along with the two teams in third place who have the best record. So in fact only 4 of the 12 teams taking part are eliminated in the group stages.
Maybe that's the reason we've seen 1 or 2 dull games in the earlier stages, a bit like the World Cup really were. You know, I think when you come out to play your first game in any competition, it is in a league basis, the first thing you have to do is to avoid being beaten, and we've seen that in the early games really.
Simeone then. Valencia tries and fouls.
Again, good refereeing, wasn't it, by our Mexican official, because really could have given a foul straight away, but he found that the Argentinian boy still had the ball. The ball ran out into the Chilean defender, and he's given the free kick for what happened 5 seconds earlier. Good refereeing.
Indeed, as he played the advantage for Chile at the other end. Another chance though for Argentina. Batistuta onside. Well, he could have had a hat-trick by now. His finishing prowess deserting him a little bit since that opener.
Well, with his glorious strike rate, you'd expect him 3 from 3 really for Batistuta, wouldn't he? Again, good little play. Great ball in, wasn't it? Did well, Batistuta, got in behind the defender and he scuffed it with his left foot, and the keeper's made a comfortable save. Good ball in as well, maybe a centre or a hint of offside, But this thing about the goalkeeper, he did stay his ground. He's managed to make the punch clear. But Batistuta won't be happy with the contact he made on that.
Well, he could have had a hat-trick, and there hasn't been one in the Copa América since 1987.
You've been doing your homework in.
Right, Colombia it was as well, against Paraguay. We saw Luis Garcia of Mexico go very close. In fact, he should have had one against Venezuela. Still time for Batistuta this evening, though, and certainly Argentina carving open the Chilean defence.
Yeah, you can't believe that the 3 chances that Batistuta has had so far are going to be the last that he's going to see in this game.
Batistuta was the difference the last time these two teams met in the Copa América in 1991. Scored the only goal of the game. Argentina went on to win the Cup, of course, as they did in 93. There's Batistuta making friends with a cameraman. In a sense, maybe the 2 chances he had, he almost found himself with too much time and too much space. Chile then plugging away. Here's Zanetti, though. Zanetti, the only man who's played in every game under Caceres. Here he is again. Balbo on the chase. Balbo questioning with the linesman as to whether he should have had a free kick. And that was and a bit of a set-to there between Borrelli and between Perez, and Borrelli gets a yellow card.
Yes, I think actually Borrelli, I thought, should have got a yellow card for his tackle. It looks as though the referee was going to let him get away with it, and then his little shove in the back on the Chilean defender, and he's got the yellow card. I thought that was a yellow card offence. It looked as though he was going to get away with it as far as the referee was concerned. And the 2 lads had a little bit of a handbags at dawn scuffle, and the Argentinians got a yellow card.
I don't think Rodrigo Perez was too keen on listening to an apology. Mendoza now. Back heel by Mardones. And Chile are going to get a corner.
This is actually their best spell for a while as well, isn't it? They've been able to keep the ball. They've been able to be very, very patient with it. They've worked the midfield, they've worked from left to right, and the forward players seem to be making more movement up front, and the delivery into them has been better.
Again, the corner kick was aimed towards the head of Eduardo Vilches. Didn't get there on that occasion, though. Chamot. Got Ortega ahead of him. Oh, and Ayala. That's a second attempt. And Argentina a little bit sloppy. Zanetti, though, will probably come to their rescue. Quality player, and Inter Milan have seen that quality.
Yes, he's very, very strong, Zanetti, and you can see when the ball gets played up to the Chilean frontman or the wideman, he's in. You can see his intention straight away written all over his body shape. He wants to get in there first. He's very, very strong, he's very, very quick, and he just wants to win the ball, get it down and start his team playing again.
Joined Inter a couple of months ago. And as you say, Chile having a good spell, and it would be an enormous encouragement to them if they could manage to score before half-time. Having been blitzed from the start by Batistuta and Simeone. Chamot, though, rising to head that clear. Valencia. Simeone. And again. Chile in real danger now, being caught out with Ortega finding Balbo, and Balbo's away, and this must be 3. No, Ramirez keeps Chile in the game.
It's a good save by the goalkeeper, wasn't it? Because he'd have tipped Balbo. Great finish, great sleight of foot as well when he got into the penalty area. It looked as though he was going to play it all the time, went past the last defender, but the goalkeeper very, very quickly came out and smothered the shot. Great little ball into Balbo, wasn't it? He was almost waiting for it. Great presence of mind, past one tackle, waiting for the next defender, past him, but good save by the goalkeeper.
Estrada giving it back to Ortega. And this kick was from Caceres as the referee brings to an end the first half here in Paysandu. Argentina wasting no time in going 2-0 up. Gabriel Batistuta with the first, Simeone adding the second. Batistuta really could though have had a hat-trick, and Balbo there certainly should have scored right at the end of the half. At the break then, it's Argentina 2, Chile 0.
It's not only going to be enough surely to ensure their passage to the quarter-finals of the Copa America, but this first half performance will hammer out a warning to all the other big guns about Argentina. Live game tonight from Paysandu, Argentina, leading Chile by 2-0. They've had 11 shots to 6 for Chile. 8 of Argentina's efforts have been on target, not one for the opponents here. Actually, Argentina have been outshot in the corner count, which is something of a surprise, but the only surprise surely among those statistics. Offsides in the game, just the one for Argentina. 17 fouls Argentina have committed, the majority of them 11-6, and 2 bookings for Argentina. Ayala, the captain, who'll miss the final group match incidentally, and Borrelli near half-time. And for Chile, just the one-man booked, that was Paraguez. And Argentina's smooth progress being watched here by Peter With and Trevor Francis. They're quite a useful side, aren't they, Trevor?
They are. They're one of the favourites, and quite rightly so. But I don't think the group that they're in is a particularly strong group. They've already beaten Bolivia. They're on their way to another 3 points tonight against Chile. The next match, of course, is the USA, so they should go through comfortably, and that's what they're going to do.
Peter, your thoughts about Argentina tonight on the first half?
Well, I think they've been brilliant, actually. I mean, I've only seen little glimpses of them, and that's the first time I've watched them. And to me, they're far superior. I mean, I've seen the Brazilians on a couple of occasions, and they look far superior. Whether they've peaked at the wrong time, I do not know.
Interesting question. We'll come back to that a little later. They were peaking early in this game, weren't they? First minute of the game, they're 1-up. Trevor took us through this first goal from a striker's point of view, one striker to another.
Yes, this is Ortega on the ball, and he just slots a little ball through. That's very poor defending. But Batistuta has one touch and just curls it around the keeper, Ramirez, as he comes out. That's what he's so good at. It's his first touch that puts him in a position to do this, and sees the keeper there and just calmly, just curls it around him. And that's why he's one of the best strikers around.
How much of the work is actually done before the ball reaches him, though, in terms of taking up the position? He's lined up his run, and he's lost his man.
Well, his position there was a good position, but you have to follow the defence. I think that throughout the first 45 minutes, they've had 5-6 chances, Argentina, and I think it's down really not so much to the movement of the Argentina forwards, but down to the poor defending.
Peter, it wasn't long before Argentina were 2-up. Diego Simeone, proud father of a new boy and proud owner of this goal, on his return to the Argentinian team.
Well, it's a great strike here. He hits it, but I question the goalkeeper going down on one knee. It seems to hit him. It goes close to him, but here, I mean, Mark just criticised his touch there, but it's taken. In the end, it's a great touch, and he's hit it here, and he's gone down on one knee, and it's gone close to his hand, and really he should have got a hand down and maybe pushed it out. But the power of the shot probably beat him more so than anything.
They do seem to put moves together superbly across the front line.
Well, they do. They're renowned really for the movements, and what always catches my eye is the way that it's a pass and movement, and they seem to work a lot. The South American sides work a lot on pass and move, and they work when 3 against 1 and them sort of situations where they have to pass and move. And the movement that they've got has been brilliant, and at the end of the day you've got to supply the pass for it, but you need the movement to create that situation.
At the top of the show tonight we were talking about Gabriel Batistuta and his achievements in international football. We kept a close watch on him through the first half of this game tonight, and these are the figures that maybe the professionals will interpret for us. The goal which we've talked about, 4 shots in the first half, 2 of them on target, 10 passes, 9 of them were completed, Trevor. and just the 2 fouls against. Any thoughts on that, particularly the way the passes?
Different statistics to the other night. The last game he played, when he went 57 minutes without having a shot. He was my tip, as you know, for the to be leading goal scorer at the end of this tournament. And really, I'm a bit disappointed with his performance in the first half today, because, I think that he would have realised that due to the poor defending, he's got himself into positions where he should have finished on 3 or 4 occasions. He should have had the competition's first hat-trick.
Well, there's a couple of moments here in the first half, certainly, that bears out what Trevor was saying there. This is in the middle of the goal rush early in the game.
This is good play, because that's a well-worked free kick. He drives that ball with great power, and it was always rising, but the keeper wouldn't have had it. Now this is what I'm on about with the poor defending there. If you just look at the picture there, you've got 3 Chilean defenders and you've got 2 Argentinian attackers. So there's no way that Batistuta should have been allowed to get the header in. Good cross from Balbo, but he shouldn't have been allowed. Here, his first touch lets him down. The ball goes behind him, he swivels, but doesn't get any power behind it at all. That's the sort of chance that I'm on about, that he would expect to do better with.
Has he? Is it some? I think in commentary, Mark Lawrence said he almost had too much time with the header. When you are a forward in that situation, is that a factor? When you feel like, I can take my time, my man is not going to get to me.
Well, you don't expect to have that much time, do you? I think that when Balbo had possession on the right-hand side, he's played a hopeful ball into the box, but he's just come in between Batistuta, 2 defenders. He's 12 yards from goal, and basically what he's got to do is just aim the ball, towards the goal in hope that it goes in the back of the net. I mean, as it's come across, I think what he's done is he's taken his eye off the ball, and it's come off the side of his head and gone hopelessly wide.
There was another moment just on the stroke of half-time, Peter, where Argentina will certainly feel as though they could and should have been 3 up, and it's Balbo who waltzes through the middle of the defence here.
Yeah, well, that's a great little ball in, and there he just dances round. And here again, he's looking to hit it. He just has to dance around another one, and what he's trying to do is just lift it over the goalkeeper as he's gone down there. But that's great little skill again, and close control. Just with regards to the header, I have a little point about the header that he missed. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I always look at strikers when they come into the box and come into the centre of the goal, and they always seem to throw their head, and that's it. He ends up throwing his head. Instead of heading it with his forehead from the direction where it's come, he ends up with a goal, because he just leaves his head there, lets the power of the cross hit his head, it goes in the corner, and he gets himself a goal. But there he throws his head at the ball.
And you would know what you were talking about, because you're pretty useful in that area yourself. Thanks for the little coaching class at half-time. So Argentina not quite perfect in the eyes of our studio guests, but they're comfortably in control in this game. 2-0 they lead Chile. Second half coming up. Argentina in control here, but just a reminder that we return to Group A tomorrow night live on Sky Sports. Slightly earlier start time as well, incidentally, at Maldonado. Doubleheader is Paraguay against Venezuela, and that's followed by the host nation Uruguay against Mexico. Those 2 matches tomorrow. Let's get back to tonight, shall we? And Argentina comfortably in control at half-time. Mark Lawrenson and Ian Crocker.
Thanks, Paul. It's late evening here in Uruguay. We're 4 hours behind. We've seen in the group stages so far Brazil just doing enough. We certainly saw Colombia just doing enough as well to get a result. Let's hope Argentina don't decide that they've just done enough. Let's hope they turn it on a bit as well in this second half, Mark.
Yes, I think it's important, but there is great rivalry between the 2 sides, and when there is that rivalry and you're 2-0 up at half-time, if the players are anything worth their salt, they're going to go out and say, right, let's get 3, 4 or even 5, let's really put it past the opposition and let them really suffer in silence.
Chileans have brought on Sebastian Rosenthal, who scored against the USA to give them hope in that game. The 18-year-old striker wearing number 9. And they're pinning their hopes on him in this second half.
I don't think he'll get an Argentina's team in, his hair's too long.
He's replaced the youngster they brought on, well, they brought into this game, Rodrigo Ruiz. Rosenthal then, who looked very sprightly in that opening game. An 18-year-old. Mexican referee.
Sorry, I was going to say, I thought Chile were unfortunate there. I thought it was actually a good tackle, because the player got the ball, the Argentinian just kept it in play. I think that's a good tackle, he just nicks the ball.
Zanetti. Only 21 himself, Zanetti. What a future he has in the game, though. In Serie A initially now with Inter Milan. Here's Balbo, plays in Italy as well with Roma. Zanetti again. Disappointing cross, though. Near capacity crowd in Paysandu, and most of them cheering on Argentina.
I think I would like to have been a fly on the wall in the Chilean dressing room at half-time, because it'd be interesting to see what the manager's decided and said to his players for them, giving them instructions for the second half. Do they try and take the game to Argentina, therefore running the risk of Argentina hitting them on the break with the pace of Simeone and Batistuta, or do they just try and wear Argentina down, try and get a goal by fair means or foul, and then try and get themselves back in the game?
Batistuta then scored the opening goal. Simeone can't quite get there, who scored the second. Argentina have never lost to Chile in the Copa América. Ariel Ortega of River Plate started one World Cup game for them last year, Ortega, and it was perhaps the best game of USA 94. Argentina lost 3-2 to Romania. Ayala's powerful header. Batistuta this time has not beaten the offside trap.
It was a late whistle by the referee. We couldn't be quite sure whether the linesman's flag went up very, very early, but certainly a late whistle by the referee. But Batistuta again, virtually in the position where he scored the first goal of the game in the first minute, just on the last shoulder of the defender, always waiting, just to wait there, the little ball played through, and just to get through him one-on-one on the goalkeeper.
Very quiet character is Batistuta. He concentrates a lot on his football, but stays very close to his family off the field, never gives interviews. Lets his football do the talking, and it certainly does that, I suppose, with 31 goals so far for Argentina, winning tonight his 43rd cap. Rosenthal again, they've been caught offside now. Batistuta floored on that occasion. Zanetti with the throw-in. Here's Borrelli. Argentina hoping for a hat-trick of Copa América successes. Winners in 91 and again in 93. Can they do it in 95? Ayala, his 13th game for his country. His 14th, though, won't be against USA in the final group match after those two yellow cards he's picked up so far in the tournament. Zanetti with a throw. Borrelli, newcomer to the international side. Plays for Panathinaikos, does Borrelli in Greece. He's taken the free kick. Batistuta's flit, looking for Balbo. Chile managed to deal with that, though. Paraguez. Perez hurried into giving it away to Borrelli again. Danger still not over. Here's Ortega. He's got the cross in. Batistuta was waiting. Free kick, though. Valencia being forced back inside his own half of the field at the moment.
I think it'd be interesting from Passarella, the Argentinian manager's point of view, in what he does in the last game against the United States of America, because there's no doubt, I don't think, that Argentina are going to qualify for the later stages, so he's got a chance maybe to play 2 or 3 players who don't normally get involved in the game and let them have a look at the system, the way they play, and get used to the atmosphere of Copa America.
Batistuta now. And the return to Batistuta. And he has his second goal of the game. Gabriel Batistuta. Argentina 3, Chile 0. And this super striker continues his superb scoring rate for his country.
That was brilliant, Ian. Absolutely brilliant. Started and finished by Batistuta, but what a great little back heel, and what great awareness as well by Argentina. Great little ball in there by Batistuta, but look at that. 2 players could have queued up, well, they were queuing up for the ball, but Batistuta almost got it stuck underneath his feet. The goalkeeper committed himself, and just a little dink, but I mean, that is fantastic play.
So Batistuta becomes joint leading scorer in the Copa America 1995 with Luis Garcia of Mexico.
You don't think he was listening to Trevor Francis at half-time, do you?
We could have had 4. He has 2. And Argentina crowding again with Balbo. Interesting striker as well, Abel Balbo. Played in the 1990 World Cup debacle against Cameroon when they lost their opening match, and it took him 3 years to get back into the side, and he was never present in the World Cup last year.
Yeah, he was given offside, wasn't he, and quite rightly so, as the ball got played through. He's just the wrong side of the defender, but it's such a dangerous game that the defence of Chile are playing. They're pushing up very, very squarely. They're not playing with the sweeper, they're taking all sorts of chances, and it's cost them so dearly in the game. It's cost them so dearly from the first minute, and really it was bad defending that let Argentina in for the first goal. And really, you know, as far as Chile is concerned, they've really got to do something defensively, because they're making it very, very easy for Argentina. And every time Argentina come forward, they look like they're going to score.
Yes, you get the impression they haven't quite finished their business yet this evening in Paysandu.
Yeah, so we're wanting to rub the noses in it, aren't they, with the tremendous rivalry between the two sides.
Well, they have given Chile a few tonkings down the years. Nelson Paraguez playing in his 3rd Copa America. Argentina, though, looking distinctly untroubled, and here he goes again. Batistuta, and he's away. He looked at the flag, there was no flag. It's Batistuta unselfishly across. He could have gone for it himself, Gabriel Batistuta, but he unselfishly teed it up for his strike partner Balbo. It's 4-0.
Well, we were just talking about the Chilean back 4, weren't we, in the fact of pushing up, taking so many chances, but it's so easy for Argentina. But it was great play by Batistuta when he got himself in the position. As you quite rightly said, he could have got his hat-trick quite easily, but he's got his head up, and he's played a super little ball and just toe-poked that into the net. 4-0 for Argentina, it's easy. Again, I think when you can see Batistuta, he thought he was offside, he thought the lines of the flag was going to go, and again, 2 Argentina players were there, they could quite easily have scored it, both of them.
Balbo then gets his second goal of the tournament. Batistuta turning from the scorer to creator, and Argentina having a stroll in the late evening here. Sebastian Rosenthal, substitute at the start of the second half for the Chileans. Really is turning into a nightmare competition for them, though, and their coach, Javier Azcargorta, who was in charge of Bolivia at the World Cup last year. He comes up against them, of course, in the final round of Group C matches on Friday. Argentina twice scoring then in each half in the first 10 minutes of the half.
Well, I don't care what you're saying, but the quality of of your players. No matter what quality you've got, you can always make it very, very difficult defensively for the opposition, and certainly from the first minute tonight, Chile, if anything, they've added to their own downfall on at least 3 of the 4 occasions.
Looks like Nestor Fabri is about to come on for Argentina. Passarella now can afford to make changes with his side cruising into a 4-0 lead.
We might even see Mr. Passarella raise a smile, do you think?
I don't know if they'll go that far. Well, the deflection. Batistuta and Balbo lurking again. Certainly the brightest striking partnership that we've seen in Uruguay so far in this tournament. Caceres. And he'll be looking to move forward himself here. With that time the offside flag is up.
This again, it's Chile coming out very, very square. It's not even though the 4 defenders are coming out together and coming out compact. They're strung out all over the pitch, and one little ball, one little dink in between behind the 2 centre backs is making it so easy for Argentina. They don't even really have to gamble on being just in front of the Chilean defenders. They can give themselves 2 yards and still get played through.
Basse. Chile will no doubt plug away. Valencia to Paraguay's. And Mendoza is, I thought he was going to nib it past the keeper, but Cristante, who hasn't had an awful lot to do, stayed alert.
I'll tell you what, it was the best tackle of the game as well. It looked at Ramon, he's going to come out with his hands, he's come out with his left foot, he's made great contact on the player in the box, because if he gets that slightly wrong, it's a penalty. It's even possibly a sending off and a problem for his side.
Valencia wins the throw. Chile in 1995 have won 5 of the 11 games they've played. Drawn 3, lost 3. Make that lost 4, I think, after tonight. The Argentinian fans in Paysandu really enjoying themselves. Substitution is going to be made. The taking off the captain Ayala, who of course will miss the next game against the USA. And replacing him will be Nestor Fabri.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the change that Passarella's got in mind for the game against America. He can afford to do it. His captain's Camargo is going to miss the game against America because of his 2 cautions. He can let Mr. Fabri come on and have virtually half an hour to look at the way he can slot into the system.
Another change being made as well with Leonardo Estrada being replaced by Hugo Perez. Perez, who started the opening match against Bolivia. Estrada came in for him tonight, but Perez has reclaimed his spot now. Argentina coasting it against Chile. 4-0. Batistuta with 2. Simeone with 1 and Balbo with 1. Fancy this possibility of a first hat-trick though in 8 years in this tournament.
Well, I certainly think so. I think no matter what the quality of the opposition, you still have to beat them, you still have to score the goals, which is the most difficult thing to do in football. But you have to say that the Chileans, from the first 30 seconds, almost a minute, they've shown a general naivety which is very, very rare at this level.
The hour up. Valencia trying to restore a bit of pride for Chile. Higuaín of Colombia was the last player to score a hat-trick in Copa America. A 3-0 win over Paraguay in '87. Some run this from Zanetti. Some cross as well. Come to Ortega. Oh, and Argentina are, I was going to say starting to take the mickey out of their opponents, but I think they've been doing it ever since the first whistle of the night.
Yes, they have, wasn't it? It was a cheeky little good play down the right as well, wasn't it? Just a flick on by the Chileans, and good play here. Lots of vision. Gone to look as though he's going to shoot. Nice little back heel. Nice cut inside. Seen where the goalkeeper is. Looked to bend one across him. And unfortunately for Argentina, just the wrong side of the far post. But if that had hit the target, I don't think the keeper would have an earthly of stopping it. But it's the type of thing you can do when you're 4-0 up and coasting the game with just under half an hour to go.
Chile making a change as that Argentinian effort went wide. Pablo Galdamez has come on for Fabian Este. Borrelli. Balbo. Daniel Passarella will be very pleased with the way things have gone here. Passarella himself catched 71 times for his country. Ortega. Got some record to follow actually, Passarella, because the previous coach, Alfio Basile, had a good record himself. He won 27 of the 50 matches played, lost only 6 times. In fact, when he first took over, he went 31 matches unbeaten. Passarella's Argentina have only lost once in 17 games. That was to Denmark at the turn of the year. Heading for a convincing victory here.
Yes, I think because of Passarella's insistence on his players having short hair, I think they're missing Redondo and Caniggia. If they're watching this sat at home, they'll be seriously thinking about visiting the barbers tomorrow morning.
Rosenthal with the throw-in, finding Valencia. Miguel Ramirez, who plays for one of the top sides in Chile, Colo Colo, although they had a very disappointing season just gone, finishing 4th and finishing with massive debts as well, supplying around half a dozen players to the Chilean national squad in this tournament. But heads are starting to drop amongst the Chileans, and frankly, it's no great surprise.
No, it's not a surprise, and the fact that they're 4-0 down, and the worst thing that can possibly happen, you get a bit of possession and you give the ball away, and you give the ball away to opponents who are certainly a yard faster, if not 2 yards faster on the night. They're far better in front of goal. They created so many chances that we talked about 6 or 7 already.
Oh, Chile though, so nearly getting one back themselves, and keeper Cristante maybe called into the first save of the evening, I think, for him.
Yes, it was his first real save, wasn't it? A good cross out from the left-hand side, and also a good header that forced Cristante into making that save.
It's gone out for another corner kick to Chile. Valencia testing the keeper then. And a rare, worrying moment at the back for the holders. Balbo back defending, Valencia takes the corner. Chile crowded out though, and Argentina look to break away. Simeone. Mendoza. And that won't quite reach Sebastian Rosenthal, the 18-year-old. Here's Zanetti. Argentina warmed up for this tournament with a 6-0 win over Slovakia and a 2-0 success over Australia. Rosenthal. Araguez. Valencia. Hugo Perez just on as a sub, rather enjoying crunching in for that. Here's Altamirano. Rosenthal shoots. Cristante not troubled though. He has a good record, Cristante. It's only his 4th game for his country. He's only conceded the 1 goal so far, and he wasn't about to concede a second from Rosenthal.
think maybe that shot's going in towards the Chilean supporters in the crowd. They don't want to give the ball back. They don't want to see their team concede any more goals in.
Party night for the Argentinians here. 25 years of age is Cristante, and rated very highly by Daniel Passarella. Reckons he's got a similar style to the keeper Filiol, who was of course between the sticks. 78 when Argentina lifted the World Cup, when Daniel Passarella lifted the trophy in Buenos Aires. Altamirano. Off Balbo it goes for the throw in to Chile. Mendoza. Borrelli trying to block his way forward. And fair tackle, says referee. Brizio from Mexico, but Argentina unable to capitalise on Borrelli's persistence. Rosenthal survived the challenge of Perez. Valencia unable to keep it in play was Pablo Goldomez, another of the up-and-coming youngsters in this Chilean side, 21 last month.
I think that's been symptomatic of Chile on the night, really, when they've had a promising moment within 20-25 yards of the goal, and those have been precious few and far between, haven't they? But when they've had that kind of promising moment, they've considered to give the ball away all the time, and Cristante in the Argentinian goal has only had to make one semi-serious save in the whole match.
Valencia hoping to force Cristante into another save, but he won't do it like that, and once again no trouble for Cristante. The only goal he did concede in his 4 appearances so far, including tonight, was of course in the opening game against Bolivia. He played in those friendlies, 6-0 win against Slovakia and the 2-0 against Austria. Zanetti. Argentina going in search of a fifth. Balbo happy to win the throw off Rodrigo Perez. Zanetti will take the throw. He'll get the cross in as well, too high for Batistuta, but only just. Pablo Goldomez then. Mendoza. Flag was up, but the referee plays the advantage yet again, and he's actually been very good at doing that all evening.
And the referee's had a very, very good game, and I'm sure, as we said before the start of the game, he was probably mindful of the fact of the feeling between the two sides, but really there's been 1 or 2 bookings in the game, but generally the game's been played in a very, very good spirit, possibly because of the way the game started.
Hugo Perez trying to find a way through. Couldn't play in those warm-up games, Perez, number 5, because he was helping his Spanish side, Sporting Gijón, avoid relegation. Caceres on the chase. Rosenthal able to get the cross in. Nobody there to capitalise for Chile, but maybe Valencia can do something. No, he can't. Caceres, incidentally, who wears number 6 for Argentina, might well be remembered by Arsenal because he was a member of the Real Zaragoza side that denied them glory in the Cup Winners' Cup final. Here's Batistuta then. 2 goals so far tonight, fighting Balbo, who's got 1 himself. Simeone with the other, and Argentina 4-0 up against Chile.
Again, great skill by Batistuta, wasn't it? The Chilean defender had slid into him, and he just lifted the ball with his inset, just lifted it over him, enabling him to get time and space in which to play the pass.
Zanetti. Foul on Balbo gives Argentina a free kick. Their supporters demanding another goal. Argentina, 12 matches unbeaten. Balbo then, amongst those waiting to receive this free kick from Ariel Ortega. And it was looking desperate once again for Chile.
It's a good ball in by Argentina, but again, very, very poor marking by the Chileans at the far post. You could see that the taker was waiting for the movement from the Argentinians. He got the movement, but really, if anything, the Chilean defenders never really moved until Argentina did.
Ortega with the corner, Hugo Perez rises, but that'll drop behind for the goal kick. In fact, it was Caceres who came up to get the header in. Real Zaragoza. Caceres, in fact, who used to play under Passarella at River Plate, and it was Passarella who sold him to Zaragoza.
You know, just looking at past Argentinian teams, and certainly defensively, they've never been blessed with really tall central defenders, but I'll tell you what they do, and Passarella did this himself when he played. They attack the ball in the air very, very well. They really do show their intentions. They come and attack it and make it difficult for the opposition.
Phil Shares finding Paraguay's, and now it's going to be Rodrigo Perez. Rosenthal. Comfortable for Hugo Perez to head clear. Rosenthal able to nudge it to Paraguay's. Offside though against Passe.
Good organisation, wasn't it, by Argentina? They forced the man out wide. You know exactly where he's going to play the ball. As he played the ball, they just stood their ground, and the runner's gone through, and it's offside.
Batistuta neatly trying to put Zanetti away. All they get is the throw. Ortega, who's come across to meet it. Rodrigo Perez won the throw in there for Ortega. Oh no, he didn't. It was given to Argentina. Borrelli. Looked like it took a knock, but linesman deciding otherwise, and he's a lot nearer.
You just feel that Argentina just started to stroll. There's 15 minutes before the end of the game. They've done the work. In fact, they've done the work in the first minute. In fact, putting themselves 2-0 in front. It's very, very easy for them at the moment, and they're just strolling through the rest of the game.
Ortega now. Hugo Perez, and again there's no flag. Balbo. Keeper denied him.
That was actually a very, very good save from Balbo by the Chilean goalkeeper. He really was do or die stuff at the end of his game. He's just got his right hand to the ball because he could quite easily be lobbed here. Good goalkeeping.
So with a quarter of an hour to go in Paysandu, Argentina are leading Chile by 4-0. Batistuta bagging a brace. Simeone and Balbo also on target. Borrelli there has not stopped working for them.
No, it's been a very professional performance by Argentina, aided and abetted by the fact that Chile at the back have been very, very poor. Defensively they've been awful, really. You know, the way that they've come out, they've tried to play very, very square defensively, and it's led to their own downfall. But good credit to Argentina. They've approached the game very professionally. As I said before, you can only beat teams no matter what standard. You can only beat them. They've scored goals, they've scored quality goals. The passing's been good, the movement's been good, and generally their confidence must be sky high.
Striker Marcelo Salas then waiting to come on for Chile. Scored 5 goals in this year's Copa Libertadores, the equivalent of the European Cup. He scored 27 goals in all for his club, Universidad de Chile, who were champions. Chile set to give him a run out soon. Argentina leading them by 4 goals to 0 though. Valencia. Basse plays his football in Mexico. In fact, he was a title winner with Necaxa. Ortega survives one challenge. He's hurt by the second of them. Chile care not though, because Basse is on a run. Blocked though quite comfortably really by Fabri. And there he is, Fabri, putting Batistuta on the chase. Batistuta tangling with Miguel Ramirez then. Who's going to come off better here? It's the Chilean Ramirez. Batistuta tried to bring him down, I think, but failed to do so. Here he is again, Ramirez. Rosenthal turning away from Zanetti. And the header won by Altamirano. As Chile then decide to bring on Ivo Basse, and he will be replaced by 21-year-old goal machine Salas.
Well, I think he'll need to be a goal machine tonight, you know. Can't really see him get many chances. It's always difficult when you come on as a substitute in any stage of the game, because you're expected just to keep running for all the minutes you're on. But certainly tonight, when you're 4-0 down, it's not a situation really that many players would relish.
Chile trying to salvage some sort of pride. Salas gets his first touch. Unable to get his second though. Fabri is commanding as ever, having come on as a sub himself. Mendoza, just when it looked like he might be in trouble, gets himself out of it. Still he goes, Mendoza. Chile though only forcing the single save out of Cristante. Hugo Perez. Hugo Perez getting applause from the Argentinian fans here. Well, tonight we go into the third phase of matches in the group stages, and it's Group A, Paraguay against Venezuela, kicking off at the earlier time of 10:05, and followed by the host nation Uruguay against Mexico. Group A will be decided tonight on Sky Sports. Argentina have decided here that they are effectively having a rather big say in Group C.
Yes, they're having a big say, and just looking at, we talked about Batistuta, about his skill, about the way he sets himself up and gets himself in the last shoulder of the last defender, but he doesn't half work hard. It's like any great player, people tend to think that the gifts are taken for granted, but great players work very, very hard in the game. It's certainly something that Batistuta's done tonight.
Argentina seemingly running out of ideas now, though. They know the game is in the bag. Balbo handed the captaincy after Ayala was substituted. Chile looking then for a consolation. And they might get one here through Valencia. He's switched it. Oh, and that's a tremendous save from Cristante. Only the second save he's had to make this evening. And And the action has switched from one end to the other with Balbo. Borrelli and Mendoza will clear it away, but Salas testing Cristante with a fine drive. But Chile, well, perhaps it really summed up their evening here in their failed attempts so far to score. Only 2 real attempts.
It was a good save by Cristante, wasn't it? Because he stood up very, very, very long. Looked as though he was going to play in there, and it came from Salas, and he looked. Good play by the goalkeeper. He stood up as long as he can. He's made the target look very, very small to the strike, and he's made a good save for his side.
And it looks as if Cristante is heading towards a 3rd clean sheet in 4 games for his country. Zanetti there. Oh, and he just couldn't nudge it past Vilches. Had he done so, Chile would have been in a lot of trouble. That's come off Balbo for the goal kick.
I think we have to give some credit to Chile because they haven't stopped trying to play. All right, they've been very naive defensively, but they haven't stopped trying to play all the game. But you can just see from that little clip there, they're just constantly giving the ball away, and against any team, no matter what quality, especially the quality of the opposition in Argentina tonight, you cannot at this level afford to give the ball away because you may not see it for another 2-3 minutes.
No country has won the Copa América more than Argentina, and they've issued a warning tonight to their rivals, albeit against fairly disappointing opposition, who were, having said that, blitzed right from the opening minutes of the game.
Yes, I'm sure as Argentina progress into the quarter-final stage, they're going to come against far different far different opposition, and the quality of the sides they're going to face.
Now Batistuta is away. Gabriel Batistuta, so close to the first hat-trick in the Copa América for 8 years. Batistuta denied by the woodwork.
Well, the chances are virtually copybook all the time, aren't they? Again, Chile pushing up, playing very, very square. Batistuta taking it round the goalkeeper. Unfortunately for him and his side, he's hit the crossbar, but he could quite easily, without any fear of exaggeration, add 5 goals tonight for a player of his quality.
Balbo nearly getting his 2nd of the evening, and indeed he himself, could have had a hat-trick as well. He certainly had a good chance then. He's got the corner.
Good save by the goalkeeper, actually.
Argentinian following here, urging their team on then for a 5th goal. Hugo Perez, and once again there's no flag, and the miss by Fabri, who was probably very, very surprised to find himself in that position.
Yes, I think he was surprised. He did actually look offside in that instance, and I think currently the Chilean players are berating the linesman, but you have to say that they've diced with death all night, and it's only something that really they've brought about on themselves, but it was certainly an offside decision not given by the linesman, and Argentina should have scored quite easily.
Well, Fabris, who scored his only goal for his country back in May against Peru, might not get too many better chances than that one to add to his tally.
Now you have to give some credit to the goalkeeper because he came out and he set himself, he made it difficult for the player, but it's been woeful defending by Chile, absolutely woeful.
Caceres happy to return it to Cristante. Sing-along time with the Argentinians at the moment. Yellow card is shown to the Chilean keeper Marcelo Ramirez for a bit of lip.
Yes, I don't think he's inviting the linesman round for a drink after the match, was he?
Valencia. hearing the whistles from the Argentinian fans. The attempt from Galdamez.
I think judging by this Chilean performance here, they're going to have to spend a lot of work and a lot of time and effort and a lot of direction on their training ground just to get themselves right defensively, because there's no way you can approach a game of this nature against the quality of the opposition of Argentina and play so naively in defence, because it's cost them virtually every goal. It's cost them loads of chances against themselves, and you know, if they'd gone at the end of this game 6-0 or 7-0 down, they couldn't really have complained, Chile.
Argentina close then to confirming a convincing victory in their second match in the tournament. They're up against the United States of America on Friday in the final round of Group C matches. They would have already qualified, of course, for the quarter-finals.
Yeah, you did say before the game that you thought it'd be 5-1 in favour of Argentina. At least you got the difference right.
Well, it could still be 5 here. There certainly have been enough chances to be 5. Maybe even more than 5. Rosenthal. Hugo Perez. Simeone. And I was going to say rather wild from Simeone, but it almost turned into a Naeem-type effort.
Yeah, it was a bit cheeky, wasn't it, when he set himself? I thought he was actually looking to play a cross-field ball, but obviously not. It was a great effort when you consider the goalkeeper was always struggling, wasn't he? He's even himself his head against the post for his sins. It's come from fully 40-45 yards, and it can't have been far away.
I bet David Seaman closed his eyes then if he's watching.
Yes, I think it might have brought back one or two memories not exactly pleasant for him.
Hugo Perez then. Batistuta, scorer of 2 of Argentina's 4, and creator for Balbo as well. He's running out of play as Perez. In 23 matches between these two countries in the Copa America, Chile have not managed a single victory. Make that 24.
Yeah, because of the early nature in which Argentina scored the goals, it really has been so one-sided all the game. And the fact to go 2 up in the game so early, with the majority of the support from your home supporters just across the border, and it's made it very difficult for Chile. They have still tried to play, but they've been very naive defensively. They've contributed to their own downfall, but in turn that's been some quality performances from Argentina, certainly in the likes of the striking positions, Balbo, Simeone, and of course Batistuta, who's been undoubtedly the star man of the game.
Batistuta was top scorer in the 91 Copa America. And scored the goals in the final of 93. And his record now reads 32 goals in 43 games for Argentina. It's mentioned a lot, that record, and frankly it deserves to be.
I don't think we can ever mention that record enough here.
Full-time whistle goes then in Paysandu. Argentina 4, Chile 0. 2 goals early on in the first half and 2 goals early on in the second half. Batistuta bagging a brace. Simeone, number 8 there, also on target. And Batistuta, when he could have had a hat-trick, teed up the 4th for number 7, Balbo. The holders, convincing and comfortable winners here in Paysandu, and they're through to the quarter-finals.
Thanks very much to our commentary team Mark Lawrenson and Ian Crocker. It would have to go down as the most convincing performance anywhere in the Copa América so far. Thoughts of Peter With and Trevor Francis when we come back. Argentinian performance to send the Argentine fans back home across the border from Paysandu very, very happy. They've beaten Chile 4-0 in Group C. 19 shots they had to 10 for Chile. 11 of Argentina's shots were on target, just 2 for the opponents. 11 corners in the game, and actually Chile won the balance of them, but it didn't do them much good. 5 offsides in the game, 25 fouls, the Argentinians committing the majority of them, 2 bookings apiece, nobody sent off. And that performance was witnessed by Peter With and Trevor Francis. Overall thoughts, Trevor, about Argentina?
Well, it's the best performance we've seen in the competition. They were outstanding against a very poor Chile team. I think that when Zamorano, who's been their best player for many years, decided after winning a championship medal this season with Real Madrid not to play for his team, and he's watched the game at home, I think there went Chile's chances of perhaps causing an upset, because he's such a good forward. But the man who's taken the eye once again today is Batistuta. There's no stopping him.
Absolutely. Peter, before we talk about Batistuta's contribution and Argentina's attacking in general, I think it's probably just worth pointing out that Chile could still make it if they were to beat Bolivia in the last game in the group and other results go their way. But there is a vast gulf between the likes of Argentina in this championship and the likes of Chile.
Very much so. I think that Chile have... I looked at America as well and look at the both of them and think really they're not good enough. And certainly the Americans are going to come, I think, unstuck against Argentina. If they show the same commitment as what they have done tonight, I mean, that was, as I say, one of the best performances I've seen at the competition. They were brilliant. All round, I thought they were brilliant. The boy for me, everyone was saying about Batistuta, but Zanetti for me, the lad who played fullback, who got forward and I thought he was tremendous for them. I thought he'd done brilliant down the right-hand side, always wanting to get involved.
There are so many good players in the team. I mean, Peter just mentioned Zanetti, and Simeone has played exceptionally well. We all talk about the 2 front players, Balbo and Batistuta. But what impresses me most with this Argentina side is the work rate. I've never seen an Argentinian side work as hard as what these have, and that's credit to Passarella.
Absolutely right. Let's come back to that in just a moment or two. First, should we just remind ourselves of the dream start they got in this game? First couple of moments of the game, really, Trevor. And Gabriel Batistuta on target again. We've given him the big build-up before the show, or early in the show tonight, and then he does this in the first minute of the game.
Well, it's the perfect finish, isn't it? 2 touches, first touch takes control and then slots it calmly around the keeper. And this is the second one, good control by Balbo, into the path of Simeone. It's a cross shot, hard and low. The keeper's at fault there, but the power has taken him by surprise.
And from there, they weren't going to lay off. There was obviously no doubt that Argentina were going to go on to clinch the victory, Peter. Did you feel it was just a question of how many they were going to get?
Well, the chances that they had and the shots on target that they had, it was... I mean, you look at it and you thought it could have been 8 or 9, and they'll look at the chances, and certainly the missed chances that they've had. But they've gone in, they've won 4-0. I think that Mr. Passarella will probably be still a bit critical of maybe the chances that they didn't score. So he won't be happy. He'll be saying to them, keep your feet on the ground. You've still got to go out and improve on this performance, and that's basically what you've got to do all round. Is that you set your standards, and you've not to drop below them standards, and they've certainly set the standards tonight.
You guys were forcing Batistuta's hand, weren't you, here in the studio, saying you're expecting him to get a hat-trick in this game. Here's the second of his goals on the night to make it 3-0.
Well, there's certain games when the opposition are so poor defensively, you know that from the start they're in with a chance of a hat-trick. This is a good goal. It's good forward running here from Caceres, and as you think he's going to shoot, he shows great vision. Little back heel into the pass of Batistuta. He gets it out under his feet and just clips it over the top of the advancing Ramirez. That's an excellent goal.
Mark Lawrenson called the finishing the hardest part in top-class football. This man makes it look so easy.
Well, he does, because he's got such good feet, and despite the fact that the ball was underneath his feet there, he's still able to get it up and over the keeper. And he's a good player. I mean, we've said so many times what a good player he is. I mean, we saw the stats tonight. The real stats are Argentina 4, Chile 0. He's been involved in 2 goals and scored 2. You can't ask for any more than that.
Here's the 4th goal that Argentina got. They spread them around. Balbo getting himself on the score sheet here, Peter.
Yeah, well, I mean, when the boy goes through here, is that you're thinking to yourself, well, he's just going to go through here, get his hat-trick. But I've just marked down here about his vision. And it's not only what a good player he is. He's got great vision. Here he just side foots it across, sees his striking partner come in, and that's a great finish. And really, it's his movement, it's his staying on side, because I looked at him, they were trying to keep him offside all the time. They were trying to step forward, and what you find with the forwards is they just creep into offside positions. He was just staying on side all the time. Great vision, and to me, all-round ability, all-round vision and everything.
We mentioned at half-time we'd keep a check on his performance, statistically speaking, through this game, and here's what we've put together in terms of the whole of the game. The 2 goals we've seen, he had 6 shots in total, 4 of them on target. That's a respectable percentage, Trevor, would you say?
Yes, I think that the last shot, of course, that he had on target was the one which he'll be kicking himself and missing, was the one he put against the crossbar. But all in all, I think he'll be more than happy with his evening's contribution. 15
of 20 passes completed.
I'm a little bit disappointed with that he's let 5 passes go astray.
And just the 2 fouls he committed. But he could easily have had his hat-trick, as Trevor's mentioned there. And
well, he could have done anything with this, couldn't he? The keeper comes out, sells himself here, just easily goes past him. Could have passed it to Simeone, decides to shoot, or it's Balbo there, sorry, decides to shoot. And as I say, that you'll never get an easier chance than that to get his hat-trick. But this is an easier chance again for Fabry, who's come on his sub and played very, very well when he's come on.
Had he passed that, Trevor, would any of the receiving players been offside?
Yeah, they would have been offside. I think that he tried to take it around the keeper there, but what he showed there is that he's better in defence than he is in attack.
Yes. It's funny how this international football, it is an international language now. They were all watching Naeem in the Cup Winners' Cup final, and they decided, the various Argentine players, if the opportunity presented itself, they would have a go from the halfway line, and it was Simeone with his party piece in the last minutes of the game. Here's his attempt.
Yeah, well, here
he
just gets his head up here and he hits it. And I thought he was going to hit a cross-field ball, but it's obvious he spotted the keeper out of here. And how many times in the competition, I mean, it goes back to probably the 1970s when I remember a certain gentleman who'd done exactly the same from the halfway line,
yes,
and tried to catch the Russian goalkeeper out and nearly succeeded.
The keeper there actually collided with the post, and he'll have let in 4 goals tonight. Him waking up in the morning with a very sore back, I would think.
Earlier we'd seen Bolivia surprise the United States in the first of our 2 games in Group C, and 1 goal separated the sides. The all-important strike here coming from Marco Echeverri. Peter, with the outstanding player in this game for you?
Yeah, he was, and as I say, people who on the left foot there, it's a great little dummy inside, and once he's gone through in the box, nice little toe poke under the goalkeeper. I don't know, it's just a thing that I seem to have about left foot, probably because I was a left-footed player myself, I don't know, but they seem to stand out just a little bit more.
Any closing thoughts about the United States effort, Trevor? They've got a lot of improvement to find, haven't they?
Well, it was a strange performance, wasn't it? Their attitude wasn't quite right tonight. I said that they were obviously starting to believe that they're good players and a good team, and second half, much improved, and really, for 30 minutes in the second half, they dominated the game. Missed 1 or 2 great chances. Stewart with a header, Balbo had 2 or 3 good chances, and then Lexi Lalas, the last minute, could have got the equaliser. They've lost the game, so they've got it all to do now against Argentina to qualify.
So in each of the groups we've had 2 games played, 1 to come, and here's how we stand. First up in Group A, Uruguay, the host nation, that we'll see again later today in action, incidentally. Maximum points for them so far, and they're qualified for the quarterfinals. Mexico in second, sharing that position with Paraguay on 3 points apiece. Mexico's goal difference just a little bit better. But remember, in each case, it's the 3rd place team that could still qualify for the quarterfinals. 2 of the 3rd place teams will get through to the knockout stage. Group B looks like this. Brazil, well, they haven't convinced everybody yet, but they have got maximum points. Colombia in second after a rather hesitant win last night. Peru with some work to do, and Ecuador propping up the rest there. And from tonight's action in Group C, Argentina, an excellent record so far, best goal difference in the competition, +5. Bolivia with 3 points, and they have hopes, so too the United States, despite the disappointment as we've seen it tonight, and Chile in the bottom spot there. They've got a lot of work to do, but they could still swing it round. It's all still to play for. So overall, let me just ask you quickly before we close, Peter, to rate the powers at this competition in order of potential winner. runners-up, third-place team.
Haven't seen Argentina. I would think that they are the side to beat at this moment in time on that performance. But Brazil, I've got a sneaky feeling. I've always had a sneaky feeling for Brazil. They seem to come good at the right times. They haven't done well in this competition over the years, and I would think that they'd be thinking that they've got to stop Argentina having the hat-trick. But certainly them two are going to be the ones, I would think.
We know who Trevor thinks is going to be the top scorer in the competition. Who do you think, Peter?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that, because I think that the chances that I think that he's got a very good brain, and I think that he's always likely to score goals.
Right, well, here's how the top scorers list is compiled as we speak. Our man Batistuta still has a little work to do to be the top man, but he's doing things quite nicely at the moment. Luis Garcia of Mexico shares top spot with him, both of 3 apiece. Garcia's hit 2 from the penalty spot. Balbo has got 2 for Argentina as well now. Francescoli, another player who's been giving excellent individual performances so far. He's got 2 goals, 1 from the penalty spot. And Eric Ronaldo got 2 in the opening game for the United States, but sadly for them, none tonight. Fair play table, Brazil are still top, just the 1 yellow card for them. The United States in second, then it's Bolivia and Paraguay with 4 yellow cards apiece, Colombia and Chile with 5 yellows and 1 sending off. Remember, there is an amnesty for the second phase of the tournament. Argentina have collected 6 so far, but you would think it wouldn't count too much in the long term for them. Also Mexico and Uruguay and Ecuador, Peru and Venezuela. Do you see, Trevor, any possible difficulties from a disciplinary point of view with Argentina collecting the yellow cards?
Well, they've lost their captain, haven't they, for the next game,
Yeah.
but that's immaterial really. But it was an unsavoury sort of challenge in the first half. It reminded me actually of his manager, Passarella.
Yes.
He was renowned for that sort of challenge. He got away with a yellow card, but it could well have been a red card, and it wasn't necessary. I don't like to see that in the game, because he's such a good player, Ayala. Just been signed up by Parma, and he'll be another good acquisition for the Italian league next year.
Passarella's really got them buzzing though. He's got them focused, Peter, and determined.
He has. I mean, he's gone in with discipline, and he's asking them to do certain things. And the one thing that he's got going for him, and he always had as a player, he was, although he got his foot in at times, but he certainly was a very strong-willed player. I didn't have the chance to play against him, but I certainly would have relished the opportunity to play against him.
Thanks very much for your company. Hope very much, Peter and Trevor, you've enjoyed it too, and we'll see you again very soon. Just before we leave you for this show, just to remind you, if you missed any of that, you can see the highlights of the United States against Bolivia and Argentina against Chile later today at 7 in the evening. And we're back live just after 10 o'clock. We've got a Group A back-to-back fixtures, Paraguay against Venezuela. That kicks off just after 10 o'clock. And then it'll be the group decider here, Uruguay, the host nation, against Mexico. Uruguay already through to the quarter-final phase, so too Brazil. But most of all, the message is that Argentina are going to take some stopping in the Copa América 95. From the team, bye for now.